and this goes into that there's multiple things up there. So it looks like a drone, sounds like a drone, but it's a UFO.
So there have been some mentions that these drones do make noise that have like this kind of propeller sound, and then there are some that don't. If we go back to the idea, the theory, I'm not saying it's mine, but it's one that's being considered that if these craft are able to mimic human technology, then it would make sense for them to make sounds. But could some of these drones genuinely be drones or black projects? Yes, I think so. When we're looking at the lights in particular, the flashing lights that have usually been green and red as like our constant colors that we're seeing with these objects, when this was first taking place, people were brushing it off like, oh, it must be ours. Like they're flashing overall normal colored lights, even though the shape isn't the same, even though they are not registered to fly over certain airspace, the lights had this human element to it. And if they were trying to be in stealth, let's say it was a foreign adversary, they wouldn't be showing these flashing lights because that would give away their position, right? Exactly. And so this, people were brushing this off rather quickly. But as the weeks have progressed, these lights are still flashing, colors are changing, but some people are seeing these objects shapeshift. And that is one of the most strange details about these craft. And that is something that we can easily link, or more easily link, to the UFO phenomenon. People that have seen very strange things in the sky that they would classify as a UFO, UAP, that would shapeshift into different shapes, going from a cylindrical shape to a triangular shape, so on and so forth, teardrop, rectangle, and the list goes on and on. Now we're seeing that in the last few weeks. Not all of these sightings, but a good enough handful that people are stating how can some of these objects be man-made if they are shape-shifting? Now, so I've spoken to a lot of people on this. And there's this idea that maybe, just maybe, some of these objects might be extraterrestrial, interdimensional, and they're using this kind of mimicry technology to where they're making their craft look human enough to pass. To pass our naked eye of like, oh, they're just ours. That's one theory. There are other theories that these objects are black projects. And I mentioned earlier Lockheed Martin, how they have their facility in New Jersey, along with Colorado. And Colorado had their very strange, mysterious drone flap in 2019 and 2020. Palmdale, California has another one, and California is known for its notorious UFO sightings. So maybe we're dealing with a mix here. We can't place all of our eggs in one basket and say, oh, they are all A, they are all B. But maybe we're dealing with different ones, and maybe that is why we haven't gotten an answer from the public, from the government, excuse me.